Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into the source material for the Cable Striker EA. We're going to break down exactly how this tool automates your GBP USD trading on MetaTrader 5. Most importantly, we're going to walk through the manual step-by-step setup guide so you know exactly how the whole process works, literally from download to deployment. Let's get into it. But look, before we get to the actual nuts and bolts of the setup, we gotta talk about why this tool even exists. I mean, let's be real. Are you absolutely tired of just staring at charts for hours on end? Every manual trader knows that awful frustration of waiting all day for the perfect setup, only to glance away for like 5 minutes to grab a coffee and boom, you miss the entire move. Add to that the fear of exiting a trade too early, the greed of holding on way too long, and just the sheer exhaustion of screen fatigue. The documentation argues this is basically a guaranteed recipe for destroying your trading account. Okay, let's dive into this comparison. Think about manual trading for a second. It's highly emotional, right? Your results end up being totally inconsistent depending on your mood or your discipline on any given day. Plus, you inevitably miss those super profitable night sessions while you sleep or work. Now, compare that to the Cable Striker EA. The approach here is totally systematic, entirely emotionless, and it covers the market 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. By shifting from a manual approach to a systematic one, the developers argue you're eliminating those fundamental human flaws that are so often the downfall of retail traders. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Trading without the emotion. 2. The 4-layer confluence engine. 3. Built-in risk management. 4. The 5-step installation guide. And 5. Ready for the markets.
Section 1. Trading without the emotion, the 24/5 advantage.
24. That number is a massive advantage. We all know the London Open and the New York session are when the GBP USD pair really moves the most. But depending on where you live in the world, those sessions might be happening while you are dead asleep or just busy at your day job. Well, the manual points out that the Cable Striker EA doesn't sleep. It tirelessly captures those high liquidity sessions, and it's designed to make sure you never miss a prime setup just because you had to step away from your desk.
Moving on to Section 2, the 4-layer confluence engine, quality over quantity.
Now, what's really interesting here is how this EA actively prevents overtrading. A lot of robots out there just fire off trades based on, a single indicator signal. But Cable Striker requires these 4 distinct layers to agree simultaneously. In a matter of milliseconds, it checks the EMA trend anchor, verifies the EMA slope confirmation, ensures the RSI is in the exact right momentum zone, and waits for the precise stochastic crossover trigger. If even one of those criteria says, no way, the trade simply does not happen. Let's actually isolate the first and arguably most important of those layers, the EMA 100 trend anchor. It's basically a hard-coded rule that ensures the EA will only execute a buy order if the price is above the 100-period exponential moving average, and it will only sell if the price is below it. So the crucial takeaway is this. This specific rule entirely eliminates counter-trend entries. Fighting the trend is widely considered the #1 cause of retail trading losses, and this software is built to structurally prevent you from making that mistake.
All right, Section 3, built-in risk management, protecting every pip.
And this brilliantly illustrates the difference between fixed and dynamic risk models outlined in the guide. Think about a fixed stop loss. If you always use a rigid 15-pip stop, it's inevitably going to get hit over and over by normal market noise on a highly volatile day. Now, compare that to ATR dynamic risk. The average true range calculates actual current market behavior. The EA automatically scales the stop loss and take profit distances based on daily volatility. On quiet days, the parameters tighten up. On wild days, they widen out. The EA literally adapts to whatever the current conditions are. Beyond the dynamic stop loss, the guide highlights the automatic break-even lock. I actually want to share this quote from Kwame in Accra, Ghana, pulled straight from the user community source material. He says, "The break-even lock is the feature that sold me. Every time I trade manually, I always let winners turn into losers. This robot does not have that problem. It locks profit and moves on. The very second a trade moves into sufficient profit, the software just adjusts the stop loss right to the entry price. It completely prevents a winning trade from ever turning into a losing one." Which brings us to Section 4, the 5-step installation guide, live in minutes. Now, I know setting up automated systems can sound super intimidating, but the manual really stresses this. Absolutely no coding or technical expertise is required here. You don't need to open MetaTrader to compile complicated scripts. The developers designed this whole process to be completely straightforward. Honestly, if you can drag and drop a file on your computer, you have the exact skills required to install this. Okay, so here is the exact 5-step setup process as outlined in the documentation. Step 1. You purchase and download the fully compiled .ex5 file. Step 2. You open MetaTrader 5, go up to File, Open Data folder, and paste that file right into your MQL5/experts folder. Step 3, and listen up, because the guide notes this is highly critical, you open a GBP USD chart and set the time frame to M5. That 5-minute time frame is absolutely mandatory for the engine to work correctly. Step 4, drag the Cable Striker EA from your Navigator panel right onto that M5 chart. Tick Allow Automated Trading and click OK. And finally, Step 5, just click the Auto Trading button up in your top toolbar. Boom. You will see a little smiley face pop up in the top right corner of your chart, which is your confirmation that the EA is live and scanning every 5 minutes.
Finally, Section 5. Ready for the markets, choosing your path.
So the documentation lays out 2 straightforward paths for licensing. You got the starter package for $27 that provides 1 live account license, the current V2 update, and standard support. Meanwhile, the lifetime VIP tier for $97 includes 3 live account licenses, all future updates for free, and a really cool bonus EA optimized specifically for Gold or XAUSD. The developers position this VIP package as the go-to option for anyone looking to diversify their automated trading portfolio.
Just a quick reminder on compatibility from the guide too. This software works with any MetaTrader 5 broker globally. Whether you use Exness, XM, IC Markets, FBS, or another provider, as long as they offer competitive spreads on the GBP USD pair, you can simply log in and let the software run.
Stop watching, start earning. Are you ready to let a robot work for you around the clock? We've explored the emotionless logic, the confluence layers, the dynamic risk protection, and of course, that simple 5-step setup outlined in the guide. If you're at all curious about letting a systematic approach run on your charts, I highly encourage you to read the full source material and user manual for yourself. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer, and keep learning.